So we're waiting here. I don't know if anybody can hear us. We have a very Vegas meta show here, and
Vegas meta show. That's a great way to word it.
It's all Vegas all the time.
Camera is so
between our darkened corner with the all of the red everywhere.
I'll know about 2 seconds if we're live.
Yeah. See, it'd be pretty funny if we aren't, and I'm just rolling my mouth and saying hello to people.
We better be live.
It
says we're live, and
it says we're live
for 30 seconds.
In theory,
but the question is anyone actually watching?
Fancy meeting you.
Hi. Yes, we are live. It's working, just nobody's watching.
We're live? Oh, apparently somebody is telling us that we're live.
Yes.
Okay, God. We're doing a meta show live.
On Twitch.
Yeah, this is exactly it. It's 1 p.m. here. Normally it's 2 hours later for me. And Maggie, you want to come on here and say hello?
Yes, come say hi.
Sure.
Yeah. We have already a special CCV guest.
We
We're
can
in
zoom
glasses
out.
now since last time I saw it.
Yeah, you know, the videos were getting out of focus all the time, so I had to get glasses.
That's excellent.
I love the camera though.
So yeah, here we are, but you can't see both. You can see there. Excellent. That is pretty meta right here. We're getting CCB filming us doing the meta show.
Yeah, let's film this.
Yes.
That's amazing.
This is like
this is an Inception moment
exactly,
right here.
yeah, exactly. It's layers within layers.
Here we go.
So like, yeah.
You can count the pixels, but we're here. Okay, that's excellent, and there's definitely pixel counting taking place right now. Look at that. I swear we're going to talk about spaceships here in a bit, guys. What the fuck is this? That's a very good question.
Yeah, so to introduce everyone, so we're here. Hi. We are at the Linq for eVegas. We are live. We didn't know if this would work, but we actually found this little area, and the Wi-Fi is free. It's great.
Can you get closer?
All right, we're gonna snuggle in here. That's
yeah. The other side is good. Yeah.
Vote, you gotta get in here, man.
The camera. I am.
It doesn't work, lol. Holy shit, it's dark. Yes, we are in a back corner in a booth, thanks to the resub Slacker.
It's dark and dirty, which is great for Vegas.
It is. It is very appropriate. I love the. It is actually looks kind of like a Darkest Dungeon kind of scene because the red lighting. Yeah. It actually it's either we're in a GIMP room or we're in the Darkest Dungeon game or it's Vegas maybe actually because it's kind of hard to tell the difference between.
What I love about Vegas is the whole phoniness of it.
Exactly.
So even well you can't see it in the front, but everyone around us this is like a raw concrete kind of look. But if you knock on it, it's paper.
It looks like we're inside of some insane prison or something like that.
Yeah, it's great.
But it's a luxury prison.
Fancy benches. But we're at eVegas. I just got out of the Matterall talk, which was amazing.
I caught the tail end of it,
and
he was. We're gonna try to do a little bit of live IT support here. You want me to plug it in?
It's kind of cool. We got a camera now, microphone.
It'll plug in.
You know, if we keep on going for an hour, we might like generate the whole studio.
We might actually have some preparation instead of partying too much. All right, I just plugged the microphone in. I think I just ruined everything.
Well,
you want to turn it on?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Okay, here we go. We're going to be talking about actual Eve shit because there's been a lot of news that's happened.
This thing on?
And
it's real sensitive too, so watch out.
Hello? No, I gotta do it over here.
Anyways,
we can still talk, but I'll make it better.
Oh, I see, because we're actually using the
You
wrong
keep talking and I'll make it better.
I'll keep talking.
You probably have to keep this closer.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
He has it activated in the drivers and something like that.
Yeah,
This is all IT. Yeah, here we go. It's working.
Which one is it? It should be that one.
No, it's probably the...
It's the line in. It should be a line in one.
Check and, well, whatever. We can still talk like this.
As long as people can hear us running our mouths, who cares?
Yes.
So anyway, so far...
Here, I'll turn it
I turned to talk to you, and then there's this fucking camera.
There, I've got it turned up.
There's cameras everywhere. Now you can see the inside of Nutani's mouth. It's very exciting.
It's really exciting. We're seeing parts of Nutani we've never seen before.
Oh my god, if you find my softer side, just let me know and take a picture of it and I can get rid of it.
We can add it in post.
So, about 2 hours ago, I would say, they did the, that's amazing.
That is a really cool
They did
it's really nice.
The structures talk. And they told us about jump bridges.
Yeah, so apparently we have jump bridges that we can put Titans through now,
yes.
Which is which couldn't possibly go wrong. I really see no downside to this whatsoever, and I see a great new era of mining in Delve and more Titans, and more Titans going through jump bridges.
Keep start grids.
I see an entrapment coming up here. You're sort of really positive about it. You're sort of easing into the hard question. I've seen 60 Minutes before, you know.
Well, as
I'm gonna throw you softballs and then.
Everyone knows Celine on stream. You know Celine.
Is Celine here?
No. The MC CEO. He was just down there.
Okay.
As I told him, I'm grateful and very happy with all decisions CCP makes, just like yours. And he's like rolls his eyes. But that's the thing. That's huge. They showed the animations. If a ship goes through one, it makes its own little individual animation. If a whole fleet does, it makes like 200 animations.
Oh, I see.
When you're coming out of one, you see it coming like a trail.
You're making this move with your fingers. You've got a little joystick.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's like a puppet.
It is.
But it's a camera.
It's a camera, yeah.
That's amazing. Can you do like ventriloquism through your camera?
I can also like do this.
Oh, wow.
It does this kind of things. And then I can sort of manipulate this thing that's here as well. But I still like...
That's
It's
awesome.
so stable too.
It is. It's really nice.
That is amazing.
And then if you're like really, it even has like a click button here thingy. So like you're filming, but you're just full of yourself. So you double click here, and instead of filming some, hang on, now it doesn't work of course. Hang on, here it comes. No?
This is basically one gigantic selfie stick. Is what I'm hearing here.
We're live. Say hi. Oh, we're live right now?
Yeah.
It does work nowadays.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It just finds your face.
Yeah, you can actually make it track your face. It's unbelievable.
That makes a lot of sense from like a documentary perspective. Okay, so what do we got here? Have I gone blind? We have some people. There's already a mention of the Eye of Terror. For people who weren't aware, during the Battle of Days of Nullsec, or the good old days as these things go, the Eye of Terror is when we, during the Great War, built an entire line of jump bridges from northern Goon territory in the northeast in Scalding Pass and Wicked Creek territory, down to the gates of the RIT Triangle in Faithabilis, where Rise, people of Rise, were at the time. And we let them know that for a month, at some point, the jump bridges were going to go online, and there would be a direct invasion pathway from where we staged in the far north directly to where they lived. And we called it the Eye of Terror, and it was beautiful. And when the gates open, all hell broke loose. And this apparently means that we can do new Eye of Terror.
Well, what's more amazing about this is jump bridges can be anchored cross alliance. So ours and Goons can connect to initiatives.
We need to call them the Brown Eye of Terror.
Okay.
Say hi, we're live.
Wait, we have both two side guests here. Tim is running away before he gets caught into this nonsense.
Just say hi.
We have Merkelchen here, and we have Sadis here, and we have Zanuria.
I have to take off, but I'm filming at the moment, like just briefs, sort of, and this is a question I think the audience wants to know.
Oh dear.
Oh, something happened here. All right. It's very quick, like in one sentence. Why do you play Eve?
The people.
Bring it on.
How much I can mess with people.
How much you can mess with people.
Yes.
Is that the hard truth?
That's the only reason.
Yeah. I'll be around, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Ray.
Yes, thanks.
We will see you soon. Yes.
Better answers.
Yes.
So my prologue.
See you later.
But these structures are huge, right?
Who is the guy with the selfie stick? That is Raggy. He's from CCP. I forget his actual CCP name.
He's the media expert.
He is the guy who did all the scope videos, and he's fantastic with graphics and filming everything. That's what he does.
That camera is expensive.
Yeah, I can see that.
It has no wobble, no shake. So you can do everything he does with zero shake. So it's a
Imagine the GoPro pizza.
gyroscope. Yeah.
Can you guys hear what we're saying? Like, I can see the chat here, which is good.
It's loud. I turned it way up.
Well, just because it seems like it's loud here, I want to make sure that you guys can actually hear what we're saying as we go through this.
Yeah, they can hear. Yeah.
So we've been partying like rock stars, as you do in Vegas. So there's a lot of people who have throat damage because it's very dry here, and we like to get drunk. Also, weed is legal here in Vegas now, so it's a very different dynamic at Vegas the last couple of years because basically everybody's bombed out of their mind.
Do you want to share how yesterday without being specific?
No.
Oh.
Because we the man down situation.
Yeah, but we have to say who.
Okay.
We have to say what happened.
We did have
Goon first.
Yeah, that was somebody hit the elephant gun way too hard and had to get some medical attention, but everything was fine.
He's fine now.
He was warned not to use the elephant gun as hard as he did. He ignored the warning. There were consequences, but they were brief consequences, and everybody was fine.
Yeah.
It wasn't a heart attack, which is what I was afraid of. So
they weren't great.
Party so hard that the medics kept calling. That's how we
was
roll.
hilarious. Just say hi.
Yeah, Zenuria, we've got a special guest of Zenuria right here. We've got lots of special guests.
Don't do shoes.
No, actually, his shoes are amazing, dude.
Yes.
Like, can you take off one of your shoes and like, or actually,
I can hold them up like this.
yeah, because so these are like $800 custom. They're gorgeous. The lighting looks a little off on this, but Zenuria has really some of the most badass looking leather men's shoes I've ever seen. Like,
Yeah, they're Jeffrey West. Jeffrey West is a shoe company that makes amazing, really gothic shoes. With
they're
lots
like
of
this
red and
black and red kind of. It's really pretty badass.
Okay.
Can I explain the elephant gun for the uninformed? Okay, do you want to do this?
Yeah,
Joe?
so think of an electronic cigarette.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ones that are designed for weed are really small. Oh, lighting.
Lighting?
So,
Oh,
well,
God.
yeah, that's amazing.
That actually works out really well.
All right,
It's-
so imagine
we have ghetto
weed
lighting.
vapes
These
are
guys
really
are just
tiny,
holding
like
up.
pens.
Welcome to iPhone lighting.
Hell
So
yeah.
imagine taking a weed vape, the capsule for it, and sticking it inside a normal e-cigarette, which blasts it with air. So it's like getting shot by an elephant gun
Yeah.
right down your throat. But in the case of normal, you're warned. Take a small hit because it equals a really big hit normally. And someone decided to down it for about 15 seconds.
It was an epic hit under normal circumstances,
Oh.
and again, this is a vape that's designed for nicotine, not for THC. So this is the second year that the Imperium has had the elephant gun, and if you see us when we're at these parties with tons of people and everybody's just like,
Yeah.
then
Found something else to min-max.
Goons do it better.
yes,
Found
we
something
do.
to min-max.
And
Yes.
here we go. So
they did green out. That's exactly what
yeah.
happened with an X.
So to,
and they were fine.
So to understand how eVegas has been for us Thursday night's dinner, thanks to Sadis here and Hyper Viper, shout outs to those two. We had 170,
Oh my God,
175
amazing.
people. We had the best Southern barbecue you can get in Vegas.
Great barbecue, open bar, and
Best drinks in Vegas.
That's Papa Nap's Barbecue. Go on Yelp, take a look at it.
Papa
Fantastic.
Knapps. Yeah.
To give you an idea, the kind of alcohol, we had Patron on the counter for anyone just to enjoy.
It was sort of unfortunate is that they actually had like custom drinks designed themed for the Imperium. So there was a commissar drink, there was a martini, and I actually wanted to order the drink that was named after me, but it was a vodka martini, and it's literally they just gave you an entire cup full of vodka with a lime in it.
Yeah,
And,
This is
the martini was it was pretty impressive. So we had a great time, and again, shout outs to Sadis, who is right here, and to Hyper Viper for arranging it. It was really just one of the biggest and most amazing Imperium dinners I've seen yet.
Laser clear and a nominate.
Nominate Laser Clear did an amazing
my
job.
God. We have
They made
challenge
custom
coins.
challenge coins just for the event.
Numbered.
They're individually numbered. Of course, somebody has number 1.
I have it right here. I still have it in the original casing.
Yeah, I have
I might have 007.
So
This
only
is-
for people who came to the party. Again, we had 175 people.
I had an emotional moment actually. Like when Nominate handed me 001, I actually was like, this is serious. Like shit is real. There are challenge coins, and I got the first one.
Yeah.
I will point out that I was
Everything
one that
just
insisted
came
on
in.
getting number 1.
And what was
Thank
absolutely
you.
amazing
Appreciate it.
about that party was the numbers. So 175 there, but I met about 20 goons who had flown in late, including a few wonderful INN people. They weren't even at the party, so we could have had 200.
Yeah, it makes
And-
sense because people can't always get there on Thursday.
Right.
The thing is, if you're an experienced pro at going to Imperium parties at Vegas,
You get your Wednesday.
you've heard, some of you have been there like when the riot police have been called, and I'm not making that up, that was actually an Imperium party from a few years ago. I had a guy, one of our guys came up to me yesterday,
Yeah.
and actually pulled out the invite card from the infamous secret riot police party from a few years back.
Was that the one that Graf did
Okay.
not have?
Yes,
Right,
exactly.
yes.
And
So-
Sadis was
So
guarding
here we
the
go.
door at that party.
Huffy asks, how did the test beat us in attendance? Because only about a third of goons actually bought the Vegas pass.
Oh, test beat us in attendance. That's adorable.
Right, tested 100.
Dude.
Number 1 attendance alliance was 100. We had more at the
completely preposterous.
we had more at the dinner than they had here, yet they won the trophy. So
Yeah,
goons
that's
just didn't buy the
fine.
pass.
Yeah, no, like that's actually a thing that is unfortunate, and it's probably good that the CCP people aren't here while we're talking about this, but that is a thing that's happened at Vegas for the last couple of years. The Linq situation is a little bit too.
But we all stayed at the Cosmo.
Yeah,
It's
the
best.
Linq is a bit too low rent for the Imperium line members, and so by and large, most of us were staying at the Cosmopolitan this year. So instead of hanging out at the Heart Bar like we used to, we now hang out at the Chandelier Bar. Though I hear there's a possibility that we might be hitting the Heart Bar tonight for old
Actually,
time's
there
sake.
is breaking news on that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
breaking news is people will be showing up at Dre's in the Hard Bar early in the evening and then meeting at the sports book here where there is comfortable couches, delicious drinks, but we will not be hanging out in the 1513 bar in the Linq. We'll be hanging out in the sports bar, which has the couches and everything.
This sports bar is where the MC guys were hanging out. It's open till midnight.
They serve drinks till midnight and they
Right,
leave it open
yeah,
afterwards.
you can hang out there. It's got beautiful, comfortable couches, big screen gaming TVs.
Has Merkelchen been
Yeah.
involved in the discussion?
Yes.
All right, good. Then everything is handled.
So we're gonna do like Heart
Let's not-
Bar or
let's not-
Dre's.
all right.
Whoever had Dre's is going to Dre's. Other people are going to Heart Bar. So non-participants in this, and then everyone else is going to
sports book
yeah, so it's nice.
All right. So yeah, there's a lot of things happening, and TacDad still has his card. That was an excellent thing. Also, by the way, I love your Toyota 4Runner, TacDad. Like I watch you on Instagram and all that crazy ass shit that you do is fucking nuts. I just want to say, like, this dude has like this crazy ass off-road 4Runner.
Thank you for everyone that subs. We're trying to keep up. 24 months there, but we're having a hard time keeping up.
Wow, you just hit the 2-year mark, dude. Diesel, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Diesel 1975.
So
everybody.
an important thing though is the opening ceremony. Hillmark came out to it. We have now 3 companies working with CCP. We have a Chinese company that has a very interesting reputation. I've talked to a couple of our Chinese players that are here. They say that company has got an interesting record.
I don't know which company you're talking about.
So they are now producing Serenity Server. They're also going to run 2 mobile games.
Right. Okay.
The one mobile game looks fantastic. It looks like a first-person, like a third-person shooter kind of thing, where you drive ships around, shoot each other, and that kind of stuff. That looks like fun, using Eve models and Eve graphics.
That sounds entertaining.
It's called Eve Echoes.
Right.
And that looks awesome. Then, of course, you have the other game that they're trying to make.
Project Nova, which is a different company.
Oh, Project
so that's
Nova
CCP,
just looks sexy. Because now you have a character, and they showed in the video on screen, you had a character crash the pod through a maelstrom shielding, land on the maelstrom, and is fighting people on the maelstrom, like the deck of the maelstrom, while the maelstrom is literally fighting a Sancha Phantasm. So
boarding actions, right?
Yeah, boarding actions.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
And literally the
if that
goal
actually
of the
happens.
PvP is the defenders are defending the pod, the attackers are trying to install their own pod, steal the ship.
Oh,
so that's the PvP
I see.
aspect.
That's amazing. You're
And
going
then
to
they're
slot
also-
in one capsular for another.
And they're also going to do Destiny-style PvE with a dynamic Sancha invasion. You're fighting the Sancha menace, which will go with incursions. So the PvE aspect is co-op versus Sanchas.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to be curious to see that happen, and I wonder. I hear that they're getting an alpha ready for this soon.
You can go test it
And
right
that
now.
It's playable. Okay, I haven't actually done it yet.
Everyone that came to E-Vegas is instantly in the alpha, and then they're going to add a few people later.
Actually, at the welcoming ceremonies yesterday, they announced that if you go and you sign up on their website, you can get into it.
Yeah.
At the eVegas website, just sign up today.
So go to E-Vegas, make sure you sign up. That game looks amazing. And then they talked about their PA relationship, and we found out that we were sitting next to a bunch of PA reps, and they're pretty chill dudes.
Sweet.
And they're excited. And PA's working with Eve to bring out another game, which is to be announced.
Is it going to be announced later, or is it going to be announced here?
They
or
weren't
Not here.
They weren't clear.
Presumably a later date. That makes a lot of sense. It'd be a little bit too
so
soon.
that these 3 companies are now getting together to what he calls be giant nerds together.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I mean, considering
He's
that.
calling it the Gaming Nerd Coalition.
That makes sense.
I
I mean,
think that was
Pearl
the name.
Abyss has, there's a lot of similarities in a lot of ways with Black Desert Online as like a fantasy style sandbox game similar to
And
Eve.
only at INN, the Pearl Abyss guys, we got to meet them. A couple of the INN guys here got to meet them. And we're going to get to hang out with them at TwitchCon.
Really?
Yeah, next week we'll be able to hang out
Yeah,
on the TwitchCon.
so we're going to get to hear all about Pearl Abyss's plan.
That's fantastic.
Because Pearl Abyss did say they want to be hands-off. Like, let's CCP do their thing. We'll just make money.
Right.
And,
Well, if we're going to be hanging out with them, let's not talk about the remote screen anymore.
well, we'll hear about that in future episodes
Right.
of the Med Show. So that'll be cool because we get to ask them questions.
Let's see, who ordered the broiled shrimp? That is a very good question.
I don't think anyone did. I mean,
Thank God. There was no broiled
breakfast.
shrimp this go around.
Had some amazing food at breakfast at the Weekend
Yes,
School.
but we're not going to be discussing future plans. That's excellent. So, so far, let's see, what else do we have going on here? I mean, it's been...
The structure thing, I think, was the biggest. They're about to do the ship right after we're done here, actually. At 3 o'clock, they're doing the ships and something rebalance or...
The ship rebalance and I forget.
We should
ships
probably
and modules balance.
Right.
The reason that's a big deal is what's coming with that is a lot of people suspect the Titan changes that they want. There's been rumors that they're making Titans less capable of fighting subcaps. And that's being rumored because halls are really strong, especially on like Ragnaroks and Avatars. And so there's a lot of rumors about that.
I love this. I hope this guy is joking. It would actually be better if he wasn't joking because I would love to shoot somebody on live stream.
Oh, please.
But why is Goon Stellar Management making them release poorly balanced things? CCV always nailed balance before Goons. That's actually got to be joke.
I will point this.
No, that actually has to be joke because he's doing too much all caps.
It has to be a joke, but I doubt it. And here's why I doubt it. I was in the room when they announced it.
Right.
Some of the balance, big changes. And the groans, unanimous. I watched a guy walk out, the low-set guy. This is horrible.
That's kind of strange. I mean, one of the things they talked about Wardex, right?
Oh yes.
And that was yesterday. That's really big news.
That was this right at the end.
That was actually just less
so
than an hour
here's
ago.
what makes that a big news.
Well, let's explain to people who haven't watched yet what happened with the Wardex.
Okay, so Wardex right now, they showed the numbers yesterday. 4 corporations, 5, control 90% of all active Wardex.
50%.
50%. They basically make all the Wardex.
Right.
One thing they don't want touched is mutual Wardex, where like if you 3 want to fight us 3, they're gonna leave that.
Right.
So your buddies can fight each other. That Wardex will stay. But they're basically feeling that the attackers don't have any risk. They don't lose any assets. I think it was like 5-1, or no, 106 to 1. Attacker kills per loss.
I saw that, and this makes a lot of sense to anybody who's been around since the early days of the privateers, right? Like most of the people who are in high sec are basically just helpless victims, because they are. If they weren't helpless victims, they would have gone someplace else. And the Wardeck mechanic, like here's the thing: if you want to have a game that actually keeps new players around, most of the people who are in high sec, they're risk averse, they're relatively new, they haven't figured out their groove in EVE yet. And it is basically shooting fish in a barrel. Like if you were in Privateers or one of the many iterations of these corps that were just like G to Wardeck corps, you sit out there and you're just fucking nailing people, and they can't do anything because they're helpless idiots.
So what they announced today, and this is where the key big things, Wardex cannot be declared on people that don't know their structures. So anyone in high sec that doesn't have a structure down, no longer be Wardex. But what makes that a big deal is say you have 50 junker pilots all doing their own thing. They're all on our ACLs. That's 50 ACL entries you have to put on every one.
Right.
But with this change, you put all 50 of those in one corp. Make sure that corp owns no structures. Now you just add the ACL of one corp. Makes the job 10 times easier. Also,
doesn't keep you from getting ganked, but
you don't get ganked, but you won't get warded.
Right.
And that's a big deal. But what they're also looking at is making the attackers put something on the table. Attackers cannot declare war without a structure of their own.
Oh, really?
Which is a big consideration. They're trying to make ready.
So everybody has to. It's like there's a Vegas analogy, right? Like in many ways, it's like every side has to ante up something. If they want to go to war, you got to have something that can be shot when you're offline.
One of the biggest concerns about the Wardeck balance is the simple fact that like groups like Maramite don't have any risk in the game. They can base on a Jita or a Mar, 0 risk.
Yep.
Yes.
So if you kill their structure, win it over?
Yeah, they have 0 structures worked against.
Oh, so you can actually end the war aggressively by blowing up the hostile structure.
Right. So
and then that terminates the war.
Scooping it, maybe.
I believe.
Or scooping it.
Right. So that's the joke right at the moment is that they're going to have to put on the table because a lot of Wardeck's corps tend to be the same like 10 guys.
Right.
Because Wardeck corps can hide so well, 10 guys can have like 10 accounts and be everywhere.
Right.
Whereas 10 guys are stopping 40,000 man corporate alliances from operating high sec. People hate high sec.
Yeah.
Because Wardex is a mess, so they're looking at that.
That makes sense. And I want to sort of say a broader point. Anytime a core mechanic of EVE, like Wardex stuff, has changed, there's usually a lot of like herf-blurf about it from people who are defending the mechanic. The fact of the matter is that EVE is a game that came out in 2003, and the way that people play MMOs have changed, and you cannot actually really sustain the population in terms of subscribers and players if you're expecting people to play like EverQuest 1999, right? Like there are a lot of things back in the day that we would eat shit through and go like, oh wow, you can just kill a bunch of newbies and it's miserable and that's EVE. And now it's like people just don't accepted it.
Well, it's gonna
so
be
it's time to change it.
It's going to be
Newbies too.
I think it's
Yes,
gonna,
hashtag newbies too.
I think it's going to be a great thing for new corporations. They're just starting out HiSec. Those corporations don't own structures; they can afford them.
Right.
So they're building. Now they can't be Vortex.
Yeah.
Now think of the one big feature change they talked about too was adding goals to the war decks too, which was a possible change for early next year too. So that could be also a really big thing.
Yeah.
So like you make a target to go kill the structure or have this many kills before the war ends or something or another, back and forth. And that was a big consideration.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Another thing that was a big deal too, that they're looking at, but they haven't figured out how they're going to do it, is the biggest issue right now with HiSec structures is that you can swap the corp, and that if you swap the structure to someone else, like I give you the structure, you're a different corp, and the structure's not saved for like a week.
Right.
Because it'll get saved, and they're looking at how to change that to prevent the structures from just being moved around.
Right.
And that's the thing. So yeah, a lot of little changes like that they're really looking at, which is nice.
We just saw all the coffee go by on a card. It's very exciting.
What?
No tag team instructions.
Yeah, no tag team. Yeah.
And then the structures changed, like so you can't just give somebody to the one of the big things they're considering for December too is that you're not gonna be able to just give your structure away so you end the war. They're gonna make a prompt to accept the gift of the structure or transfer the structure.
Transfer the war.
This is kind of an aside. Somebody here is asking me whether I've seen Avi, Avicenna Saffras from Maverick Navy, and he's actually just down there. I don't think he realizes it on the phone.
Apparently Goblins is here. I haven't seen him.
Yeah, I saw Goblins the
Yeah,
other day
Goblins
at 35:35. We had a fun little chat.
Yeah, I got to meet a few people, and I mean, yeah, it's interesting. I had a lot of questions about NGSA come up while I was here.
That's good.
And,
we need to talk shop about that.
That's not public. I did.
All right, future plans. We were actually doing a little bit of
but,
metagaming here.
So what's coming up? If you're watching the CCP streams, pay very close attention to I think 3 o'clock this time, which is 6 Eastern.
Right.
That is the ships and modules restructure dev talk.
90 minutes from now.
Not the round table, but the actual talk. What's up?
90 minutes from now.
90 minutes. So you want to catch that. If you care about things, catch it.
If you care about Eve or any.
Wow, we haven't dropped a single frame. Yes.
That's excellent.
That's awesome.
High fives all around.
But yeah, so Vegas has been good. So future things for Vegas coming up. Vegas goes all the way to Sunday at 5 o'clock here, 9 o'clock Eastern, for the people that are here on Sunday. There's a couple of little things, but I didn't find anything too interesting.
Somebody's asking me if it's a red shirt, and I'm proving that it is.
For those that are here, there's an E-Vegas party. That's tonight.
Yes.
That is at the Dre's. I've never been to that one.
Me neither. I skipped it last year, and we'll see. Maybe I'll drop by this year. I have no idea.
I don't know, but they have a bunch of pools, but they have dress code, so that'll be interesting. I will say this, and this might offend a lot of people, and I'm going to say it anyways. There are some people here that need to get some hygiene standards. God damn.
Oh my god.
I was in line.
I fully agree.
I was in line for the keynote, and just like, what the fuck am I doing? I had to sit there for half an hour of that shit.
All right. I mean, it's that thing. Like, I'm sorry. There's no excuse. Take a shower every fucking day. Put deodorant on.
Man, I will say this. My room is pretty baller, and I've got a nice fucking bath. That thing is comfortable. Got a view of the Bellagio fountain right out the window of the bath. Fucking A. If I can sit in the bath for an hour, you motherfuckers can get clean. But yeah.
It's pretty cool actually.
Savage. No, it's not savage. It's honesty. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my caveat here. Everything else has been great. That's the one thing I'm just like, what?
I mean, that is one of the
That's my
reasons.
one thing.
That is something that I will say. I have staying at the Cosmopolitan. I have not encountered any body odor. The Cosmopolitan. When you walk in the Cosmo, just everything is beautiful and clean and ordered, and there's beautiful
You
people.
heard about why?
It's the vents.
They have good ventilation.
Our friend here is they have special ventilation that sucks all the air that smoke straight up. It gets rid of it.
That's high quality right there. That's what
Yeah.
you invest in when you
Yeah.
get to stay. Also, it's pretty cool. I got
How's your
place.
room?
I got a place on the 69th floor, which is the highest that they'll let guests go, and I think it's pretty nice. I gotta say, it's nice.
It's not bad.
You know, other than that, it's just amazing. Like I actually got a little bit of vertigo when I went out on the balcony for the first time, like looking around. I mean, when you're looking down on Planet Hollywood, and Planet Hollywood is next door, and it's like way down there at 30 stories.
That tower. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on that tower, so like I can look down on the strip, and it is.
I got
it's
made
interesting.
fun of because I don't do heights.
I made fun of him.
And my friend here made fun of me. We go to Sound the Balcony. He's like, "You remember that Sound the Balcony? Beautiful day.
Yeah.
Great view.
Yeah.
Bellagio Fountains, great.
Yeah.
And then the mountains. But I don't do heights,
Yeah.
so my balls are in my mouth for about 10 minutes.
And then he gets back.
But then I lean back in the chair, relaxed, and then it got a little better. But then actually, it's weird because in my room it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not doing everything.
It's
But
when you
if
sit out on the
If I sit
balcony.
on the balcony for like 30 minutes and come back in the room, I get dizzy.
Yeah.
Only from the balcony, not my room, but yeah.
I can relate to that actually. My own balcony is, you know, it may be a little bit woozy, but it was all right. But a Nominate has the most baller suite at the Cosmopolitan. He has his actually goes. He has a corner suite, and it's huge. It has 2 bathrooms. Each bathroom has its own shower in it, and it basically is the entire corner of the building. It's a wraparound balcony that is like 100 feet long with a corner in it. So you can basically just walk around the side of this building, looking down on everything. And that it's got a perfect view of the airport. So when helicopters fly by, this was something that fucked me up the other night. Helicopters fly by at eye level. You just look over there and there's a helicopter
You're literally
going
the
by.
only naked guy on the balcony.
Yeah, exactly. You're just like, hey, everybody. So,
the Cosmo's amazing. If you ever come to Vegas, especially next year's going to be amazing. I heard Kendra's coming and John Hartley and all these really
that'll
cool
be fun.
Europeans. But if you come next year, I highly recommend. They announce the dates at FanFest or like the week after, whatever, right?
And we usually have our events scheduled very quickly after.
Yeah, so you'll have 6 months warning. Pay attention to Jabber and all that, because you don't want to miss it. The party here might even be bigger. I don't think we can make it bigger. I think
we already know how we're making it bigger.
there was a wait. What did you? Please share.
no future plans.
God,
This
come
is all
on.
secret.
No future plans!
But we want them to come, right? We want to entice them.
Why is my head glowing red? It's because we're like red paneling
Red
here.
lighting, yeah.
Yeah, like everything around us is red. I'm wearing red. It's just sort of how
Yeah,
it
I'm wearing
goes.
my black shirt just because I'm busy.
All the same swag is all on CCP's site still.
So yeah.
Store at CCP.com.
Yeah, so it should be a lot of fun. But this year has been great. Pretty much everything about this.
We're just sort of like looking around as like people come in and out. Like
I was
there's
going
a
to
lot
try
of
and
things
get
going
Falcon to
on.
come down. Actually,
Are you guys going to Dry's tonight? Some of us might be going to Dry's, some of us won't. One of the things that Bo was mentioning earlier is that Test actually won for the first time in history. Every other eVegas, when they've done the Alliance population contest, it's always been Goonswarm. But this year, Goonswarm didn't win because like the huge majority of Goonswarm people didn't buy tickets to Vegas this year. They just came to party, which is the dirty little secret, because consider it a protest vote against the Linq.
yeah, I mean,
so,
look, I'm gonna say it like this. I love CCP. Their Planet Hollywood experience was great because with Planet Hollywood, if you're not at the Eve stuff, there's a lot of comfortable areas for a
Planet
large
Hollywood
group
is, I think, a much
to
better
be.
venue. Yeah.
And there's a couple of places here in Vegas where you can enjoy comfort. And,
I feel like I'm going to get hepatitis every time I accidentally touch the bar at
oh,
35,
for example,
35.
a 35 bar took 30 minutes to get a drink for someone.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they
because
closed early last
here's
night.
why. They carded someone that was international. I believe it was.
So they made Marana basically.
the judge,
They
and the
made,
judge.
yeah, everybody like they made like I've never seen it so hard to give money to a bar in Vegas and get drinks in
Oh,
return.
yeah.
Like
And
they
they're like-
want you to basically go through TSA in order to
Yeah.
get a drink.
They have to call their manager. The manager took 2 seconds to look at the ID. He goes, "It's fine."
A Nominate had to borrow an ID from somebody in order to buy 2 drinks because they were saying that if you wanted to buy 2 drinks at this bar, you need to prove that you were buying a drink for somebody else instead of just buying 2 for yourself because their service sucks that much that people, of course, go there and try to get
But of
multiple
course,
drinks.
The Cosmo, great service. takes
Cosmo,
care of
everything is handled. Oh, here's a little
even
pro
Planet
tip.
Hollywood was nice. The Heart Bar, they would come around and ask for orders and stuff.
Everybody who is at the Linq and is wondering how to get around the 35-35 thing, there is a trick. There is an Irish bar that is next door that you can go to that is within walking distance of the 35-35, and if you just go to like the little Irish bar that's on the connector to the actual outside Linq, like if you're going to in and
It's
out.
like a minute walk.
Yeah, it's like a minute walk from 35-35, and they will serve you just fine. So there are ways to get drinks at the Linq. It's just the 35-35 is hard mode. or really nightmare mode with a bonus side of hepatitis. I don't know.
Yeah. Plus, okay, here's another benefit of staying at the Cosmo. I know we like to rate the Cosmo. They have the best, first or second best breakfast buffet. We wake up at 8 a.m. in the Strip.
Would you call it the best boat fade?
Oh.
No.
They have.
I hope you guys can hear the terrible puns that Sadis is making, so you can suffer as I'm
They want more
suffering.
Grand Nagus. Grand Nagus?
Why do they want the Grand Nagus?
Because they love it.
Fair enough.
The Grand Nagus was extremely popular when he came and visited another show. It's true. Let's see.
Well, if required, I can talk about the laws of acquisition.
It's fantastic.
I love Sadis.
All right.
But yeah, it's really good.
Let's see what else do people want to say. I mean, we can take questions and
Yeah,
answers
take questions
here.
so we can get going here in a minute.
I think that we're going to have a shorter than usual show this time because I think
40 minutes is fine.
Yeah, I think we've kind of like run out of topics. There's a lot of things going on here, but
CCP, it was weird because you thought you would be hearing more about just League in general. Because outside the few structure things and the thing that's coming up soon, there hasn't been a lot of big drops like you expected at Vegas.
I actually don't agree with that.
I think there've been a lot of big
So,
drops in
because-
Vegas.
Because they have 4 releases a year now, we used to expect just 2 huge drops a year.
Right.
Now they're coming out
It's
with
spread out.
little one, and if you think the Wardex, Project Alpha, the China thing, the rebalance,
They got a lot of shit
that's a
going on.
lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So some people are saying it's thin. I'm saying this is actually an impressive.
I think
amount
it's
of
pretty
content.
heavy. I mean, I think the Capital Jump Bridge announcement, the fact
Yeah.
that they talked about Wardex, I think the fact that they talked about new Trafalgan ships that are
Oh,
coming.
yeah.
This is-
Trafalgan Logi.
Yeah.
Project
Okay.
Brownhole. That's going to be the most important thing.
So we talked about we didn't talk about the
So you call it your line?
we skipped the really important things.
Call it Project Brown Star. Let's see that.
Project Brown.
Okay,
Can't even say it. Can't even say it.
to get back on task,
That good.
Triglavian ships.
I
forgot that. That's huge.
Gotcha.
You got me so bad there. That's
Because it's
amazing.
Logi stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so
Sorry.
I need to tell you this
Mittens
because
down.
it's fucking huge. You own a monitor, okay? You're an FC. You're on a monitor. Monitors are damn near unkillable as it is, okay? You don't even shoot them in fights. Now you put 5 Triglavian reps on them from like 5 of those Logis. It will never die. Because the reps ramp up.
They ramp up as the longer
in
they're on the
power.
target.
Oh,
So
I
5
see.
turns to 25,
So it's
very
like
quickly.
it's like their obliterator
take
rating,
ammo.
but for reps.
but they take ammo.
Interesting.
But the ammo is adjusted.
Triglavian.
Yes, Triglavian ammo, so it's kind of like a Mark Crystal.
Oh, I see. So it's something that's actually.
But what's a big deal about that is they the key thing he said.
I know
about
Arindis
those-
is right here. Monitors do seem to die a lot when they're in this flight anyway.
Well, yeah.
What's up?
Oh, see you soon.
Yeah.
But what's big about these Triglavian things is the way that they worded why they're bringing 4 more ships out. They want to get away from the Empire new ships. They want to find different ways to add new ships to the game that don't involve already existing materials. Triglavian is a new type of material, and so it brings in more ships that require more use of that stuff.
Basically a different basket of materials
Right, so
going
instead
into
of
it,
using,
right.
like,
the
the
same old
traditional
T2 mechanics,
minerals,
right? I have to say that in general, I'm really
Right,
happy that
so-
CCB is doing this because I do, they're essentially trapped in the aesthetics of the 4 main empires, and now that you saw this with the development of the Sisters of Eve ship, and what are they? The ones that the Praxis and
Yeah.
I'm forgetting the name of that Society of Conscious Thought. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then now with Trafalgans, you actually get a chance to see a really different look and feel, different factions. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of the Garmar and the Illithris.
I'm going to be interested to hear about the module balance because the thing with Triglavian ships, and the reason not a lot of people use them in fleets, is you jam them, you see them burst down, you damp them, they become useless.
Yep.
Because they take a while to get back to full strength.
But now with the ECM changes, it's kind of interesting because at Trafalgan, like one-on-one, okay, well you jammed me, but then I can just shoot you back.
Right, but you have to reset everything.
Right,
Reset stunts.
right.
And if the reps are built that way, you have to reset the reps. So it becomes another thing to think about with the changes. We did hear about
New
jump
jumper
bridge.
changes, they have no space aids. It is interesting that...
Only 5 light years though.
Well,
So-
that's what a jump bridge used to be back in the day.
Right, but remember they buffed it to 7.
Yeah.
To be Titan, bridges
Yeah.
because it creates gaps. But where I see this happening,
But Sino Beacon is now.
right? Where I see this happening is again, not to talk future plans, but
Sino Beacons with
it
ACLs
makes
is
Delve
so
and
huge.
Fountain a mess. Because now you can literally go from Delve to Northern Fountain without fatigue.
Well, that's a good thing. I mean, I really think that Delve is one of the most underrepresented regions in EVE. I think that it's tragic, the lifestyle of the poor people within Delve. They are poor, they are starving. Delve has clearly needed buffs, and I am glad that CCP has finally gotten around to addressing the needs of people in Delve to make life better.
And it's not. Look, a lot of people will say, "Oh, they're just doing it for goons," but as Celine pointed out, it affects the North too because they're a big meandered of like many alliances, and they can't really get around each other's space. This makes jump bridges so strong that you can combine them with other alliances. And like there's this ACL.
You mean that the North will actually have to figure out how to work together under a
Yes.
unified command structure?
And
Well,
even
that'll
better
be
than
fun.
that is taxes, which Eric's gonna love. That was their big bold print on the structures. You can tax the ACLs differently. So if you have an alliance like, say, Guild Federation, you want to charge them 0, but you want to charge your tech blues test to come through, you can make it like $1 million to go.
Highwaymen with tolls.
Highwaymen.
And autopay. And autopay.
And autopay. That's amazing. So somebody goes through, and if you can, there's an interesting spy metagame angle there, where if you can get somebody who has the roles to do that,
Well,
you could abruptly change the values
think
for the
about
jump
how
bridge
nasty
network
this is gonna
to be
be.
like, oh, it cost $1 billion ISK, and people just jumped through and didn't
No
notice
longer.
on autopay.
This is huge. Here's why it's extremely huge, and people aren't going to blow their minds. Back in the day, you used to be able to make jump bridges based off standings, okay? And so you would take a spy and allow Joe Goon at +10. He could then take enemy jump bridges. With no fatigue, that was great.
Yep.
Now, you take a spy. Remember how Sino Jammers were so huge in the northern world?
Yep.
Sino Jammers prevented everything.
Yep.
You put down
Except
a
when we killed them all. And
you get a
annihilated
spy
them. But yeah.
to relink a jump bridge to your system that you're invading from. Now you've got a connection
Clever
based
girl.
on ACL.
Right.
And now you've just stolen their jump bridge. And now you can bypass, because Titans can use them. So now you can bypass Sino Jammers.
Gotcha.
So now you can leave a whole region Sino jammed and just jump bridge around like you used to be.
Good times.
Oh, it's going
Alright.
to be so...
I think we should end on that note.
Yes.
I think that we are coming to the end of our show. I want to thank everybody for coming and watching and deigning to grace us with your presence. I understand that production values are a little bit Vegas-y, but hey, it's the authentic experience. And we will catch everybody next week. I think Bode and I have a lot of very important partying to do.
Yes,
we
I'm
do.
going to go get drunk again. Even though I'm trying not to.
All right, well, thank you all very much
See
for
you guys.
coming, and we will see you next week.
Yep, I'll see you guys later. All right, I'm going to just turn it off. There's no
All right.
outro. Bye.
There's no outro.